Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hello, how's everybody there? Great. I am really not too excited about what I'm doing today. I am and I'm not. It's the dreaded weaving in the ends. Starting to do my finishing up on this project here. My hands hurt a little bit right now. I've been jumping all over and for some reason this wrist has really been bothering me today. So we're going to weave in ends. So glad you're here to hang out and chat with me while I do the dreaded weaving of ends. Alright, as you can see, I'm ready for this. I really am. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to grab out one of my more longer, blunted ones. I like my sharper ones for my amigurumis, but I'll take this and weaving in the ends. Super important to do it, absolutely. Necessity, yes, to be sure that everything is going to stay where it's supposed to. And now when I weave into ends, I go back and forth through the fibers, turning back around, trying to weave it in as much as I possibly can, which makes it really difficult for me if I have to decide to take apart my own project, because you know that does happen occasionally. Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen in this case. I think it's turning out really nicely. I got about a couple knots I gotta tuck to the back and shave down. Like this one here in this beautiful burgundy. You wouldn't really notice it, but I think I would notice it after a while. And, oh my goodness, my mom made me this adorable blanket. All of baby yarn, and it's really pretty, and it's all little teeny tiny granny squares. There's a hole in it. The fibers disintegrated in the spot, and I have no idea how that would have happened. So I gotta fix that, and hopefully she doesn't really notice or find out. She won't notice, but I love this blanket. She started that blanket when I was a baby, and it took her over 40 years to do it. So there's a few hundred different kinds of yarn throughout the years that she's added in. She just kept giving up on it and then going back to it. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. I'd rather have it now. It fits on my king-size bed, and it's definitely very pretty. Matches my gorgeous handmade quilt that my aunt made for me. Like I said before, I come from a long line of crafters. There's a lot of crafting that goes on in my family, and that's just the way it is. Okay. Now we're weaving in my ends on Donatello today. Great big turtle. Because, quite frankly, I gotta get this stuff done. I've got my backing ready. I didn't get around to washing it yet. I have a bit of laundry to do tomorrow, but not a lot. I'm kind of caught up on laundry right now, if you can believe that. I don't. But I am kind of caught up on laundry. I'm pretty good. Finally, felt good enough to take down the Christmas decorations because there was a lot of garlands hung up. Very pretty. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything to have them up a bit longer, but I could finally get up and down off the chairs like a dozen or more times and still be able to keep breathing. I did overheat once, but I'm doing a lot better, obviously, so that was great news. Did a lot of extra dusting. My arm was hurting before that, so I know it wasn't the bit of house cleaning that I had enough energy for today, which was amazing. Because a few things have gotten away from me because no one else does them. And I've been so sick I've just been doing the bare minimums. Do a load of laundry every couple days. Get the dishes done every day. And just trying to do small cleanups, like not letting garbage pile up and stuff like that. I absolutely cannot stand the idea of garbage piling up. I do snack in my room because I sleep weird. As we all know, I get up in the middle of the night. I go to bed when the kids go to bed. And I fall asleep when they fall asleep. But then I'm awake 3 hours later and I'm up for a couple of hours. And then I have a little nap before the alarm goes off and my day's there. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to get a nap during the day, but very, very rarely anymore. We're getting past napping stage with my youngest, even though she has always been she's been my best sleeper. I will say that. She does still wake up quite often in the night, but she's usually pretty easy to put back down. Quite often it's as simple as she just wants to see that she's still important or had a bad dream and just wants to check out to make sure that, she's not by herself, and that's totally understandable. Okay, got that green in. I'm going to give a little snippy root. One sec. I'm going to grab a drink of my tea. I'm drinking, I believe it's called Live Well Hydrate. I'm feeling like I needed a little extra hydration today. A little dry. That was a lot of dust I had to dust off the TV stand. It was just, been almost a month since it's been done. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself for admitting that. But no, it's one of those ones that just catches up to you here and there where you're just like, I don't feel like dusting. So, didn't get done. It got done today, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Don't mind me. So, I got my drink of tea. Didn't have to hear me drink that. And I got my bits and bobs. So as I'm cutting things off the end, I just pop them into there so I have everything. I have a bigger bucket that's in my closet, and I use that for, stuff, whenever I need to. And, yeah. Sometimes I just shove them into amigurumis. I have been known to use dryer lint. Don't ask. Well, no, actually do ask. I do it because it smells good. And it's just dryer lint for, what am I going to do? It gets thrown out. I've heard of other people doing it too, and it's not that big a deal. I've also been known with big pillows to stuff them with cut up, clean, but old socks. The ones that have the holes in them you can't fix, or they don't have partners anymore, and they're really fancy, and they're like the fuzzy ones. I have a lot of gently used socks, but I don't feel comfortable throwing them out, and I'm not a big fan of using them as rags. I don't like the material so much for cleaning, so I know a lot of people do. When I was younger, that was something we used to do, is use them as rags, but I find they're linty. Like, if you clean a mirror with them, the lint they leave behind, cleaning bathrooms with them always grossed me out. Just because, grew up with a grandmother that used to save everything, and that's totally fine. Like, I have no problem with doing that. I just don't find them to be the best thing for cleaning with. Old t-shirts, though. I do like cleaning with old t-shirts. I find that kind of cotton really, really helpful. It's really nice for that. Not as linty. I do have to say, I prefer a microfiber for cleaning glass and windows. See, I'm totally thinking about cleaning. I did have to watch a couple cleaning videos for motivation to get off my keister and get it done. I did watch a delightful, well, I guess some people wouldn't like it, but I thought it was pretty good. A movie on Tubi, the free app. It was, it was a dubbed movie, and it was in the fantasy genre. It was one of the Monkey King movies, and it turns out there's like 14 of them on there, so I'd have to really look to find it. it's off my list now. Yeah, it was not the worst thing I've ever seen. It was very, very good fantasy. I will say, though, a lot of the Asian movies definitely are sadder, I guess is the best way of putting it. Your main characters will die. Yeah, that does happen. Like the love interest, she died. And left the monkey guy all by himself with her memory. It was sad, but it motivated him to take down her mother. Whole complicated family thing. Yeah, it was not bad. And some of my more favorite characters died early on. I was just, wow, okay, wow. This is brutal. I find this a lot in North American movies. You can almost be guaranteed that, the love interest is going to survive and the good guy is going to win. Very rarely do they not win. That's not exactly the most popular way to end a movie. I was watching something recently about a movie and people were offended how it ended, and I think I remember it ending like that. I've had it on DVD for years, so I haven't watched it in a long time, so I'd have to watch it. I probably have the ending they're talking about, the butterfly effect, I guess. Yeah. There's an ending of it that is, he goes back to the very beginning of himself and doesn't want to live his life because none of his options were very satisfactory for him or his love interest, and so he did not want to come out of the womb. He made sure that he did not survive, and I'm pretty sure I have that version. I was watching this thing saying it was shocking, and it was this and that. I remember being a little bit uncomfortable. No worse than the movie The Mist. I did not like how that one ended. That still bothers me. Anyway, let's talk about something more interesting like crochet. So, I'm reaching the end of a few of my projects already. I spent, last night, I didn't have to make any videos, and I ended up just watching movies, enjoying myself, and there are about 5 rows of my my shawl, not my wrap, that's a different one coming up. I haven't even started that one. Ooh, secrets. I do have a few projects coming up. One thing I want to do very, very soon, and I might just have you hang out because, whole thing. I had to oil my yarn winder. I was going to show you some yarn winding and talking and hanging out, and I realized every turn of the crank it was squeaking. I'm so sorry I could not do that. So I went and took some olive oil and I put it on a Q-tip and I oiled it up. Turns out it's actually super easy to oil it up. I took it off the table where I have it mounted, and there's a hole underneath that gets right to the spot that was squeaking. So I went back and forth, and smooth as butter. I've left it for 2 days, and I keep on doing that every so often just to make sure that it's going to continue being smooth, because as you can see behind me, I have been using it like crazy. Every chance I get, if I don't feel like doing any work on a project, but I still want to touch my yarn, I'll just wind up a little ball of yarn and add it to the pile here so I can see what I am working with. Fairly soon, maybe I'll start it this week, I want to start making up some mixed up cakes with some of my smaller balls. I've got these little tiny ones in here, like this white, just a teeny bit, for bits and bobs when I need small amounts. But I have even smaller balls and older ones and all sorts of interesting ones that I wanted to kind of make some, what do they call them again? They're mixed balls, and you use your magic knots and you put them together and you can make large projects with them. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. Getting some of my ends in. Looking good. Oh, I love this loops on threads. I'm going to have to get more. I'm looking at how I'm going to make the border around this as well. These are a couple things on my mind. And I kind of want to play with some of my new yarn. My little stash my mom just got me. The website made me laugh because it doesn't say yarn, it says garn. It's G-A-R-N. And just sticking in my head for the last few days. My garn. I love it. I don't know if that's just a brand name for them or something, the way it's pronounced in Norway. I'm not sure what language they speak. Wow, I'm not feeling very smart right now. I should know this. I usually do. Anyway, been a long day. Drank quite a few coffees and teas and whatnot. And this is going to take me a little while. I also need to finish my son's wall hanging that I supposedly finished for him like not the Christmas, but the Christmas before. I got to put a backing on it. I have the backing. Everything's ready. I just have not had the inclination to do it. And you know what? I got to get that done. His birthday's the next birthday, and I'd really like it done for him. I just feel like he would just like to have that done. Just because it makes him happy. So it makes me happy. Alrighty. So, I'm going to tighten, pull, make sure everything is there. Nothing's loose as a goose. You don't want loose edges. Yeah, I am going to have to do, I think, a single crochet around everything. And then possibly a granny stitch in between. I am putting gray underneath it, so that will make it really add to it, I think, with the black and the gray contrast. So, for my edging, sorry, I'm just totally all over the place, just thinking of what I want to do, but I'm leaning towards single crochet is my main stitch, and then maybe a row of granny square around everything, and then maybe I'll just sew it together. Maybe I'll continue with a single crochet to add. I don't know. See, I'm going to play around with it. I think I'm leaning towards that. Or even half double crochets are pretty nice. I like those, but I think a double crochet, you definitely get a taller stitch, and that might really complement the piece. But yeah, I'm really thinking single crochet is going to be my main base, just to make sure everything's straight, making sure all the edges are the same and that everything lines up, and that I get my stitch amount that I want to work with from there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you for joining me here on this beautiful, lovely Sunday. And I hope you're having a wonderful day with your projects. Doing pretty alright with mine. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.